Christmas is only a week away, and while you're out doing last-minute shopping, so's Congress. But here's the difference. You have a budget, Congress doesn't. And Congress just got caught trying to put $100 billion on our credit card. How long does $100 billion last? Probably all year, right? No, 2.5 months. And then they do it all again. Look at this. Look how many pages this is. It's 1,500 pages. They released it last night. We're supposed to read it and vote on it today. But no one read it, except us. They tried to write into law that no one's allowed to look at Congress's emails. So if I get a subpoena, you get a subpoena, we have to hand our emails over. But Congress, if they get a subpoena, they don't have to. So if Trump wants to investigate the January 6th committee to find out what happened, you can't see the politicians' emails. If Nancy's texting Paulie P. about investment opportunities, no one's allowed to see it. Congress just tried to write a law that puts them above the law. I thought no one was above the law. Didn't they say that all last year? Congress is also funding a censorship program. They're giving money to the State Department to censor things that they don't like online. We're funding Congress to take away our free speech. And remember, vax mandates. They're back. Congress is funding more vax mandates. You know, for the next pandemic. The section of the bill is called Pandemic Preparedness. Gain of function, you know, the risky experiments that flew out of Wuhan and killed 1 million of us. Congress is trying to fund gain of function research again. I'm sure not here in America. I'm sure we funded it to some other country like Ukraine or China, somewhere in Africa. Oh, and 12 new biolabs that won't leak, they swear. $3 million to test the inspection of molasses. Not to test the molasses, to inspect the inspectors. Have we been having trouble with bad molasses? Was there a molasses recall that I missed? Instead of inspecting the inspectors, why don't the first line of inspectors just do their job? $15 million to make recycling more accessible. It's not accessible now. Everywhere you look, there's a blue bin. When you throw something out, like 5 different little bins, and you're analyzing what goes in which one. Does this go in this bin? This recycling all goes to the same place anyway. Half the plastic's in landfills. And $100 million goes to migrant farm workers. Why don't the farms pay the migrants? Not sure. Gavin's vineyard needs us to pay his migrants to pick his grapes. He's not making enough money from wine. He needs a subsidy. Why are we paying for Gavin Newsom to get paid? He can't get paid without our help. Must not be very good wine. But I'm willing to test it if he sends me some. And this is a 5-year, $100 billion contract. Once this thing passes, Doge can't touch it. Oh, and they're keeping Kamala's electric bus program. Kamala lost, but her earmark didn't. No one cares about electric buses, remember? The bill also bans sexy memes. Yeah, here's a sexy Jesse deepfake. I look good, but I don't look that good. I guess people have been putting AOC's face on bikini models in the group chat. Well, Congress says you can't make us look too hot, or you're going to prison. Memes are a crime. Oh, and the bill's also woke. It changes the term offender to justice-involved individual, and homeless to an individual experiencing homelessness. Who wrote this bill? The Republicans have the majority. I swear to God, the squad wrote this thing. Doesn't stop there. Remember Obamacare? You hate it, right? So does Congress. But now Congress gets to opt out of Obamacare. You're not allowed to opt out. Congress, the people who wrote Obamacare into law, they don't like it. So they're opting out of it because they think they're better than you and they deserve more. And they actually do think they deserve more. Congress is trying to give themselves a raise.
Members are giving themselves a pay raise. Do you guys deserve a pay raise?
Well, that's news to me. It's good news.
People look at the performance of Congress and say, why should we give them more money?
What about the media? Think about that for a second.
And we're not paid by public money.
I know you're not, but I mean, half of your listeners are not there anymore. You're still getting the same paycheck? What's going on?
Congress is giving themselves a $6,000 raise to keep up with the cost of living. Now, why has the cost of living gone up? Because of Congress. Congress is trying to give themselves a raise to keep up with the cost of living that they caused because they spent so much. Elon Musk says the bill is criminal, and anyone who votes for it should be voted out of office. And he has the money to make that happen. Elon blew this bill up all day. He and Vivek were all over it, and it lit a fire under the politicians.
This is a sandwich. I don't know how else to say that. We're being forced into this position.
Swamp's going to swamp, right? We've said we'd do something different since we've been given the majority again. We're adding $330 billion in literally totally unpaid for additional deficit spending just since November 5th in 45 days. I don't see how that's doing what we're supposed to be doing. We're just fundamentally unserious about spending. And as long as you got a blank check, you can't shrink government. If you can't shrink government, you can't live free.